Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we returned. We've returned here with the semi-finals, or semi-finals here of the StarCraft Evolution League number 20. Yeah. We just wrapped up with the quarterfinal matches. Very straightforward, a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins. We did see some mid-game play, and we did see Shin encounter the problem that can be ghosts when encountering them in the mid-game with a Mass Queen. That was quite a sight to behold. But we're getting into our next game, going to be jumping into our first series, TvZ between ByuN and Solar. Let's go. Game one is going to be on Mothership. Going to be loading into a 3-player spawn map. Let's go. As a reminder as well, when it comes to these semifinals, we will be featuring them. When it comes to these semis, of course, these are going to be best of fives. Best of fives, not best of threes, so longer games, longer matchups, longer series. That is the hope, at least, jumping into our semifinals. Let's go. Spawning in the right-hand corner of Mothership, we have the Teal Zerg player. We have the SC2 Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Red Terran player, the Red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Rocking Brood War. Let's go. They always banter. Where's my ghoul lens? Un momento. Yeah. As we attempt to Google Translate. Okay. Oh, so I'm going to be jumping in. I think ByuN said, "I'm going to win one game. Let's go." And then Solar says, "Try to win two." I think that's what they said. I think that's what they just said to each other. Oh no. Oh no. As from here, settling in, is going to be Hatch Gas Pool, standard opening here out of Solar. ByuN likewise going for his own his own CC first into his racks. We're expecting to see extra racks behind this into a 3-racks follow-up, but we'll see if ByuN has something else sinister up his sleeve, whether he does delve into factory play. Yeah, eyes are on ByuN. As he does saturate, taking his gases. I believe with the extra gas income, there's a higher chance. Yeah, we're not going for the second racks, we're going for the factory. Okay. Are we opening up double factory into mech, into mass vulture? ByuN. It's been a while, but that is the other build that ByuN does like to mix in outside of 3x stim is double factory vulture. Yep, there it is. There's our first factory. We'll see. We'll see if he goes into a second factory from here. As a building up into vulture tech. We go. For now, Solar fanning out his Zerglings. Yep, there it is, second factory. So it is going to be 2-fact mass vulture out of ByuN. Again, this is the other. It's for ByuN. It's one or the other. It's either double factory vulture or it's 3-rack stim. it's typically one or the other. With this, the goal here, of course, is to not just build up the vulture count, but also to hit an early timing and dive into a mineral line and potentially get economic damage done. We shall see. As machine shops are on the way to build up into the add-ons, into iron thrusters, and into spider mines. Again, this does typically transition into mech. So we're seeing mech out of ByuN. Which again, we have seen ByuN play mech when it comes to regular SC2. So no surprise here that he does incorporate it here into Brood War as well. Into StarCraft Evolution. Oh, my apologies. We're going into early siege mode. Not spider mine. Or iron thrusters. That's kind of weird. Okay. Let him cook, Papi. Let him cook. This is different. We still have our vultures on the way. But again, earlier transition into tanks is what it looks like. Much earlier. Meanwhile, across the map, it is going to be the Roach one here by Solar. Solar, he dips in. Has yet to release scouts, has yet to confirm, but is building up into a more Roach heavy composition. Rooting for both to win at least 2. True. Armory's on the way. There's no scouting either. Was siege mode intentional? This is where I have to wonder, like, did we accidentally not research ion thrusters? Was that an accident? Just because there was no scouting. If he wanted to like reactively make a tank in case an all-in was coming, then we would have seen the vultures be active a little bit sooner. And now we have ion thrusters on the way. Much more delayed. I mean, tanks will excel just because of the heavy roach counts, which we're about to confirm. Vultures, they depend. Yep, does confirm the roaches. We need tanks. And there it is. He actually cancelled his vultures. Like, he does cancel, does start up his tanks immediately. Does need those tanks. Which means we can sink our teeth into this game. Like, we're going to slow down. Assuming that Solar doesn't all in. As Solar, he's droning up his third. Getting up to 3 base saturation. Mines are being thrown down. Academy's on the way. That'll be for the Comsat station. That'll be for scans. As ByuN is looking to contain. Just containing Solar, throwing down more spider mines, again building up more and more tanks. I feel like this is more defensive than we usually see from ByuN. Yes, well, it's because usually he would get iron thrusters first, right? He'd go iron thrusters, then spider mines, and then be more aggressive with these vultures. But here, as soon as he sees the roaches, he reacts, he responds. I would imagine he's just had really bad experiences going mass vulture against like a blind roach heavy composition. So just bad, like just yeah, bad experiences. So building up his tank count. Double scan, confirming the tech, and we do get eyes on the spire here in the main. And he sees, he knows, and he already has Goliath production. He's already got a handful of Goliaths. Now throwing down turrets as well, and getting ready for the mutas. We can see with overload speed on the way that we might actually see Solar commit a little bit harder earlier on. We'll see if Solar commits into mutas or not. Remember, he knows he's been scouted. As more Goliaths are coming online. Roaches so far, they're just clearing up all these mines. Does commit into mutas. This is a bold move here, an expensive move by Solar. Making 7 mutalists behind this. We'll see what they can get done. We shall see. As vultures, they don't quite find a way in yet. Solar makes his way across the map. We have no vultures ready in the main. They're already here at the 3rd location instead. So vultures a little bit out of position. Mutas are making their way into the main base. Turret is ready. And mutas are deflected. Yeah, turrets are all over the place. So far, 0 damage to the mutas. So far, ByuN defending well. So far as keeping up, Solar, he's now maxing out. He's maxing out with a mass roach ravager army, and the question becomes: do we have too many Goliaths? The siege count, what are we at? 4. Only 4 tank? No shot. What? We even got into early siege mode and early tank production, but we have cut tank production very early on here. Yeah, misread out of ByuN. Roach ravager moving in. Tanks are going down. There's only 3 tanks left. Down to 2, down to 1, down to 0. Basically just an overcommitment. Overcommitment into Goliaths. Remember, it was only 7 mutas And ByuN misread. He misread this game state. He assumed it was going to be a heavier mute count. And as a result, that's going to be 29-30 SCVs going down. Ay, ay, ay. Losing everything. Again, he only had 4 tanks, Bappy. Only 4. ByuN, he got baited. He got baited into making too many Goliaths. With that, the third base has been broken. Breaks the third, keeps pushing in. Behind this reinforcement with Zerglings. And ByuN is stuck on 2 bases. Ay, ay, ay. He's stuck on 2. Solo just enjoying himself. Greater Spires on the way. Ready for Broodlords. Why not? Why not, Pappy? ByuN, desperation move. He goes for the Hail Mary play. He rushes across the map. He runs into reinforcements. The Vultures, they do nothing, Pappy. They do nothing. And with that Solar, he's snowballing out of control. He cannot be dealt with. Not anymore. Not like this. Even piling down the CC. Oh no, the CC! Does get piled down. ByuN loses his third. He'll lose the third expansion. Now Solar collapsing in. Covering from both angles. Tanks are exposed. Show says Miles. Gets 2. Oof, 2 tanks going down and takes down the remaining 3. GG gets called. GG gets called. And Solar, he will take game number 1. GG. GG well played. Again, winding it back here, ByuN, he went for, I would say, I would agree with the sentiment of a bit of a safer opener. That is true, going into earlier siege mode, into earlier tank production, but he only made the 3. He scanned the main, he saw the Spire, he saw the mute attack that was coming his way, and I would say he overmade Goliath. Went into mass Goliath. He only had 4 tanks, which is insane, by the way. A very, very low tank count. So the Roach Ravager just rocked up, knocked down the third base. GG. GG well played. With that, Solar, he just snowballed out of control. There was very minimal ground army here to defend. Also didn't help that the Goliaths were in the main, if you remember. They were distracted in the main base, so there was very limited buffer for the remaining tanks at the third. And with that, GG. With that, GG well played. Solar takes a lead, and now we're jumping into game number 2, and we'll see how ByuN will adjust coming into that next game. We're loading into Ruby Rock. Ooh, we're expecting a more bio-heavy style this time. This is a much smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. All-ins and aggression is heavily favored on Ruby Rock. Let's go. The Kogels, they do nothing. They do nothing, Bappy. They do nothing. Oh no. ByuN gets into early tanks, but like Solar will have a hard time with Roach heavy composition. That's only the caveat there is only if ByuN keeps making tanks, and he didn't. He did not. But here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the teal Zerg player. We have the Brood War Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the SC2 Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Going for the 2x Reaper. So 2x Reaper opener here, hyper aggression out of ByuN. We'll be able to apply a lot of pressure early on, deal some damage, pick off some Zerglings, and contain Solar on 2 expansions. So already we see ByuN shift gears here, and turn the tables on Solar. We have seen many Brood War Zerg players struggle against this style, as this should be 2x Reaper into a heavy 2-on-1 timing attack. We should be seeing, never mind. I was gonna say something that works really well against this follow-up is Roach all-ins, but Solar can't Roach all-in. So I am concerned here, and we'll see how the follow-up works and how he's able to try to punish ByuN and his follow-up after the 2x Reaper. Again, usually it's 2x Reaper into a 2-on-1 sim timing, which can hit very hard. Oh, he's going 3x Reaper. Never mind. He's just going to double down. And as we mentioned, early game defense is going to be difficult here because Solar has no queens. Remember, there are no queens early on here for early game defense for Brood War Zerg. It's certainly slow lanes. Mass Reaper can pop off. Oh boy. Alright, Solar. The ball's in your courts. Like, show us how to survive, Pappy. Show us how to defend. Overlord dips in. Bearing in mind that the map is going to be helping ByuN as the rush distance background is shorter than normal. So Solo, he does scout both both Raxes. He's aware of at least the two Rax Reaper. Has yet to confirm the third Rax. Solo's going further in. He's looking for a CC, looking for the expansion. He will confirm that there is none. Reapers a Roka. We have the early colony on the way. We need that colony to defend. He needs that set defense. There we go. He should be fine. It should be fine here. Just has to buy time for that colony. I say that, I mean, the Reapers can always bypass and head in towards the main. The colony's taking a lot of damage already, actually. Yeah, taking a lot of hits. Is there a world where ByuN breaks that colony? No shot. Oh, it's getting low already. It's almost down. Yeah, link speed is still on the way. A link speed should clean this up there. Yeah, and Solo's just buying enough time. Taking away the Zerglings. Oh! As not a single Reaper goes down. And here comes Solo. Link speed is now done. He's rushing across the map. Likewise, so is ByuN. ByuN should be caught. I say that, what about the KDA charges? Lings, they attempt to surround, and they won't be able to. Wow, ByuN, he makes it back home. Yeah, races back home. We have a full wall up here. Stim is on the way. We spoke about this. The real terrifying thing about this follow-up is the Stim timing. So 3-Rax Reaper into 3-Rax Stim timing is going to hit very hard. How do you usually shut this down? Roaches or Banelings. But again, none are available to Solar. So how do you defend with Ling Hydra? It's going to be even more difficult here. We'll see. I'm bringing it back to what we saw out of Rumiath, and I would suggest rushing into Lurker Tech, but even then, because of the disrupted build, because of the low economy, because of all these Lings that were forced out, it's a Lair Tech is a ways away. Trying to rush into Lair, trying to rush into Lurkers, it's not going to hit in time. There's the Hydrogen that is necessary. Now, I'm curious to see if ByuN hits with Stim or if he waits for Medivacs. In my mind, he should hit with Stim, but we'll see. We'll see if he does give a Solo more time. Here comes ByuN. He's pushing. You can see that ByuN, he's hitting pre-Medivacs, so this is going to be very strong and very early. He might even hit with +1. +1 will finish up in the middle of the fight. We have Pureling. Yeah, Pureling to defend. Lair is on the way. No colony here at the third. And with these Reapers with KDA charges, these things they should never surround. It shows that Reaper micro. Lings, they attempt to flank. We're still holding on to those KDA charges. And ByuN pulls away. Solo going for the counterattack. It's moving out. You can see ByuN looking for the army. Does with the Lings. ByuN kites back. Yeah, he does kite back well. Shows the KDA charges. Oof. It's diving with the army. And he does catch out the Hydras. Wow, Solo gets caught out. Bleeds out all of his Hydras, bleeds out Lings. Has to race back home. +1 is now done for ByuN. And Solo's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. Now he has minimal Zerglings. Oh, the save. The save, Pappy. And we've seen it. Pure Hydra has a very hard time defending. against Mastin ByuN. There's a scan. Oh. Some more good piloting here from ByuN. Sol, he's buying up time. He's now got a decent Hydra count. True. Oh no. But again, you can see the map come into play here. The rush distance by ground is so short on Ruby Rock. The tank is almost here already. I'll be honest, I don't know what this upgrade is. Like visually, I don't think I've seen that before. Curious. What is that? What is Is that Burrow? No shot. I know they introduced a bunch of unique art assets. Vengeful Sax. Okay, Vengeful Sax. That's a new art model. Okay, cool. It's Drop Lords. It's Drop Lord tech. At the same time, ByuN pushing forward. The tank a little bit late to siege, but the Hydras are going down. Yeah, again, Hydras, they cannot hold their own. They're plummeting. GG gets called, and ByuN pulls Solar apart. Ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he does tie the series up here. He does fight back. Again, it was just a very rough start here for Solar. The build itself excels on Ruby Rock because of that shorter rush distance, going 3 racks Reaper, forcing all these Zerglings, not getting caught out, pulling back home in time with that stim follow-up as well. And despite the upgrades, despite the Hydras, Solar, he was torn apart, forced to defend his main base and his third at the same time. GG. GG, well played. And with that, ByuN does tie the series up. Let's go. Let us go. So we are jumping into game number 3. Gonna be loading into Radion. Okay. A map that I'm not too familiar with. I haven't covered too many games on this map, as this is one of the newer Evo maps. It's a little bit newer. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Radion, we have the Teal Zerg player. The Teal Zerg player himself. We have the South Korean Zerg. There it is. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Red Terran. It is ByuN Shopify. And welcome and also Radion. Radion is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left. Checking the quick spawn location. Solar, he's aware of either ByuN being top right or top left. ByuN likewise is aware of either bottom left or bottom right spawn locations. So both players know that there's no horizontal spawn. They both know that at least, and let's embrace the map a little bit here as well. So we have our natural expansion. It is tucked away a little bit further in. It does allow for some high ground defense to also facilitate a little bit of defense, bearing in mind that the entrance is a little bit wider, so you can try to slip on in on the right hand side. We do have a pseudo island base here on the right, I'm assuming. No, never mind. There's no towers here. Okay, no towers. I'm spoiled by Troy. Troy spoiled me. So we have the base here, the center expansion on the high ground. There's a ramp coming into it. It is narrow initially, but it can be opened up over time. The center of the map is littered here with steam vents. Okay, we have steam vents, but no high ground advantage. It's all in the same plane of elevation. That's something you don't see too often in StarCraft 2 maps. And even in the SC Evo maps as well. Just a flat plane here in the center. Does remind me of Troy. Yeah, no high ground. No ramps whatsoever. Whoa. Yeah, no ramps whatsoever. The only elevated positions are the main base and the center expansion. Interesting. Okay. I mean, the steam vents, they do help a little bit when it comes to obscuring vision. And when it comes to main engagements. But it's quite flat. Behind this, we have our 3x sim timing. This is what we know and love out of ByuN. If you recall, we did mention this in the beginning of the series, how ByuN has 2 builds. Either 3x stim or double factory massive ultra. We did see a different variation in game 1, to be fair, going massive ultra into a faster tank switch. But here, the sim timing is on the way. And we'll see if Solar can hold. Now again, when it comes to defending against this, there are different ways. You can go Mass Ling Queen, you can go Ling Bane, or you can go Roach Ravager. Personally, I do really enjoy the Roach Ravager defense because it allows for a massive counterattack depending on how well you defend. So I'm hoping for Roaches, but we'll keep an eye on Solar. I think you like Death Valley. I think I've casted like 1 or 2 games on Death Valley before. I'd have to double check. Let's see. Death Valley. Wikipedia. Death Valley, that's the modern map, right? Which is in which was like in last year's ASL that got ported into StarCraft Evolution, right? I believe so. It was a recent ASL. Yeah. That's it. It's the recent ASL. Yeah, I think I've cast like 1 or 2 games on Death Valley. I don't know if it's still in the map pool of StarCraft Evolution. I remember being told that that it was hated in ASL, that it was not a map looked fondly upon from the Broodor players. But yeah, it led into some interesting games. But unfortunately, it's often vetoed, so haven't casted too much on it. Just like 1 or 2 games. Meanwhile, here comes the sim timing. Again, sim is finishing up in 4 seconds. We have medics with the main army as well. It is going to be the Roach defense out of Solar. But he's getting caught off a creep. Oh, gotta be careful. Yeah, Solar getting engaged on it already. Losing 1, 2 Roaches. Yeah, 2, 3 Roaches going down. There's 4 left. And Solar's holding. Yeah, Solar, he's holding on. There's only 4 Marines remaining. With reinforcements, he should stem the tide. The Queen is not caught out. Queen holds, Queen defends, and Solar does survive. Now from here, Solar's going for a later lair. We spoke earlier about Shin's defense, and Shin had a much earlier lair and a much earlier Roach speed to counterattack into all in. This time we can see that Solar's going for a later lair, so we're droning, we're saturating, we're building up into the mid game. Solar's he's not being nowhere near as aggressive as Shin was. Shin was set up to defend against the sim timing, then bam, counterattack and just kill. Here, it's a much more tame response out of Solar. Much more tame, which means we get to embrace the mid game. It's going to be Bio Tank out of ByuN, it's going to be Roach Ravager out of Solar. Now, we've yet to determine, does Solar go from Roach Ravager in towards a +1 range into Roach Ravager Hydra Lurker, or do we go into Roach Ravager Ling Bane Ultra, or do we even go into Mutaplay? Right now, there are 3 different options in the mid game for Solar. He's got options. ByuN does them in. Okay, Sims on forward, getting into the mineral line and getting 1, 2, 3, 4 drone kills. Not bad. Nice damage. Has to get the hell out of here. ByuN does pull away. Does pull out, does pull away. And for now, just going to be reinforcing with this tank. Siege mode was researched. ByuN pushing towards the third. Ravagers, they are not ready. Okay. Yeah, Ravagers aren't ready. ByuN moving in. Getting within range of the expansion. Tanks are within range. Ooh, and I don't know if we can save this. The Ravagers pushing forward. Does get one of the tanks. One tank gets piled. Marines, they stim in. They catch every single Ravager. And ByuN is snowballing out of control. He breaks through the Roach line. Oh my god. The Marines, they just chew through all the Roaches, baby. The tank is still alive. And with that, ByuN has done it. ByuN, he has broken the expansion before we could even think about the mid-game. No, ByuN, he arrives, gets into the mineral line. He cannot escape. Solely pulls away too late. 12, 13 drone kills. And with that, the third hasn't broken, the economy hasn't been broken, and ByuN takes a massive lead. Against Solar, he just wasn't able to engage ahead of time to slow down the tank push. He was resting on his laurels. He just wanted to drone. He just wanted to drone up. GG gets called, then ByuN, he'll overwhelm. He'll take a lead in the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, comparing Solar to Shin, Solar, he had, again, a much more tamer response compared to Shin. He went for a later tech structure, later lair, later upgrades, later move outs, and more drones. So Solar, he had a much more tame follow-up that allowed ByuN to be the aggressor, allowed ByuN to build up his army and build up into that follow-up at stim timing with tank production, of course. The onus was on Solar to engage ahead of time, and to slow down the push, to force early sieges, and to delay the move outs. But ByuN, he just rocked up. He just walked across the map. He rocked up at the third base, sieged up his tanks within range of the expansion even, and that was game. That was game then and there. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does overwhelm, and now we're getting ready for game number 4. Oh boy, ByuN is one game away from claiming the series. Solar has to fight back here and now. Going to be loading into Celestial Enclave. Once again, it's going to be up to Solar to pick if he wants to play SC2 or Brood War. It's up to Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the Teal Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg, the SC2 Zerg, no surprises there. Struggling so far in this series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this and force the ace match. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran, the Brood War Terran. It is ByuN for Shopify. Here we go. But he was just listening to Solar. He won his 2 games. True. Won his 2 games. From here, Solar going hatch first. Meanwhile, ByuN eyes are on ByuN to see if he does go into factories again or into extra raxes. Is it 3 rack stim or is it 2 factory mass vulture? Or do we see something different, right? Like, so far, those are the only 2 openers that we've seen and experienced from Terran players in TvZ. I know that recent changes were made to try to incentivize like Wraith openers and Wraith play and 1-1-1s. The issue with that is that the reason why we have our 2 openers is that the early stim timing allows you to be active and have map control and have some kind of presence with stim. The double factory timing does the same thing, but with vultures. Trying to open up Wraith is very passive, it's very slow, and sure, Wraiths allow you to harass, but outside of that, like, your ground army is going to be lacking, your map presence is going to be lacking. I would say that there's a lot more issues when it comes to trying to make Wraith openers more viable when it comes to having any kind of early game aggression, early game map presence. But we'll see. We shall see. Ooh, third TC. Okay, third TC before any other tech structure. ByuN going for a very greedy build here, but you can get away with this because welcome to Celestial Enclave, where you have a pocket base, you have a pocket expansion. You can cut these corners. So hyper greed out of ByuN. Solar hatch gas pool, sorry, a hatch pool into another hatchery. Solar opening up gasless. Okay, so again, this is a lot more common on Celestial Enclave to go gasless even in regular SC2, just because you can be hyper greedy on this map. You can cut all the corners. Typically when you go gasless like this, it means that you will be delaying and skipping link speed for a long time, and most likely you're playing roaches in the mid game. Just because link speed is so late anyway, you just skip it. You just skip it entirely and you build up into roaches. Then you get into Roach Ravager. Then when you get into the mid to late game, then you might switch back into Link Speed, into Banelings, into Link Bane Roach Ravager. That could be a little bit more viable later on in the game. For now though, it's a game agreed. Everyone's cutting corners. Solar, he did not scout the pocket expansion. He's not fully aware. But it is going to be bio out of ByuN. ByuN's race emblem is the Sons of Korhal faction. Yes. When it comes to the victory screen, if a Brood War race, or it might even just be period, but a different logo does show instead of like the regular Terran logo. Same with Protoss and Zerg. They each show their own different logo in the victory screen, which is really it's a really nice little addition to StarCraft Evolution. Very nice. To once again distinguish between regular SC2 races and Brood War races. That's why you can actually see next to ByuN's name on the bottom left, down here, bottom left, you can see he's got the whip. He's got the whip, happy. The Dominion. Meanwhile, the greed continues. So fast OTC into fast double eBay into fast 1-1 into later stim and later bio. So we're just cutting all the corners, being as greedy as possible. Solo now taking his gases into roaches. No surprises here, as we mentioned. It is very common to go roaches and to skip link speed. Lair is now on the way. Now the question becomes: does Solar commit into Roach Ravager, or does he from here switch into Aspire? Does he go into Aspire? Does he go into Mutaplay? Does he throw down another tech structure? Does he try to rush into Infestation Bit into Ultra Tech? How greedy is Solar going to be? That's ByuN is still taking into a science facility. Oh my god, okay. Taking him into science vessels. Just rushing in towards them into late game, which I appreciate just because we've not experienced this yet today at all, right? When it comes to this broadcast, it's been a lot of early game, a lot of mid game, a lot of hyper aggression. We have yet to experience any attempt at mid to late game. That just hasn't happened yet today, and we're finally getting there on Celestial Enclave, right? The map does allow for that to happen. Meanwhile, it looks like we are making that switch into Ling Bane. So Roach Opener into 1-1 upgrades, into Baneley Nest, into eventually Link Speed. Link Speed has yet to be researched. We should get there soon. So it's going to be Ling Bane Roach Ravager. There it is. Link Speed now begins. That's almost 6 minutes. Meanwhile, we're waiting for Irradiate. Irradiate, Science Vessels. That can be amazing against Zerg armies in these longer games. Safety Infestors. Hive is now on the way. Again, in my mind, this should be Hive Tech for Ultras. That would make the most sense. It's the most standard. And it's literally no rush, like 8 minutes. That's God. No one has touched anyone. Finally, ByuN starts to move out here at almost 7 minutes. He's trying to be active, going to be deflected. Tanks, they shouldn't be here. Leading out a medic. Oof, losing another. 2 medics going down. There's that control tower. Hive is now complete. And we were waiting for the Ultra Cavern. There it is. Ultra Cavern's on the way. As I mentioned, just roaches into Ling Bane Roach Ravager into Ultra Tech. It's on the way. Now again, the best counter to the Ultra is going to be the Science Vessel. For now, though, ByuN is pushing forward. Establishing his own fort. Staying on the high ground. It's a very secure 4-base setup. The vessel's now on the way. Array is being researched. As I mentioned, that's what we're waiting for. So the way this works here, think of a Radiate almost like a Parasitic Bomb, right, with the Viper. Almost. The Viper is limited, Parasitic Bombs are limited to only air units, and the Parasitic Bomb persists over time even after the unit dies. Meanwhile, here for a Radiate, the Radiate does expire when the unit dies itself. And likewise, it can be targeted on anything biologic, whether it's in the air or in the ground. Whereas Parasitic Bombs, it doesn't matter if it's biologic or not. So they have very unique quirks. Typically, because a Radiate expires when the unit dies, you want to irradiate high health units. Oh, Spouse Connect. So think of Ultras or think of Roaches. Ultras, Roaches, Ravagers, Queens. Those are typically the targets for a Radiate. Typically. Fungals coming in. Tanks are getting ground. Tanks are exposed. Yeah, tanks are going to be able to hold on. 2 tanks do go down. ByuN's gaining ground here, pushing further in. There's that Irradiate on the Ravager. Oh my god, we stand in the vials. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from ByuN. Nice split against the Irradiate. Does split, does run out. Full unit dies. And ByuN has to pull away. His tank count just isn't there. And he has to pull back to the rest of his tanks. Vipers are coming from behind, going for the Blinding Clouds. Very nice Blinding Clouds, covering every single tank. And the tanks are caught. No Irradiate, not enough energy. Yeah, still not enough energy, but nice kiting here from ByuN. He kites back, getting caught out here, bleeding out too many Marines. It does get both Ultras, but GG gets called. GG gets called, and Solar, he will tab the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 5 here. Once again, when it comes to those final moments here, ByuN, who's being so active, so aggressive, but he didn't really have his Radiates ready, and going against Mass Ultra, getting caught out in the open, was a little bit too ambitious. I feel like the end goal there should have been for ByuN to just turtle. He was turtling up initially, just keep turtling up. Again, he didn't fully confirm that Ultras were coming, so if he had known that for certain, I'm sure he would have stayed back home, but he was very active, very assertive, and he got punished for it. GG. GG, well played. In the end, he was punished, he was broken, and now we're getting into the ace match. Okay, the final game of the series is going to be loading into Vermeer. Let's go. Let's go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the teal Zerg player, himself, the Brood War Zerg. Forced to play Brood War. It is a Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran, the SC2 Terran. It is ByuN. Oh boy. What was Sedge? Okay, nothing. I think that was a continuation to a conversation that was happening previously. Said it was good. It's good. Aye. But from here, welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player small map. Solar, he's aware of ByuN's location, either top, left, or bottom right. He is aware there's no diagonal spawn. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's aware of the same thing, top right or bottom left. So both players are aware that there is no diagonal spawn location, there's no cross spawn. It's either vertical or horizontal. As Solar, he does go hatch gas pool, standard opener. And we'll see if Solar can embrace the mid game here. Again, I do feel like early game Brood War Zerg is quite weak, but we'll see if he does make it into lair tech and make it into lurker tech. We'll see if he can get there, if at all, if that's even the initial plan. Solo, he does scout the vertical spawn first. Does confirm ByuN is nowhere to be found. I'd be behind this double expanding, getting his own third, settling in. Here we're calming down, we're settling in. There's our going to be opening up. From here, we do see a third CC out of ByuN. Okay, so 3 CC, 1-1-1 out of our Terran player. Very fast third CC. Before factory even. True, that's that's greedier than what we expect. Okay, it's going to be a 3 CC 2-1-1 instead. Or do we 3 CC 3 racks? True. Okay. This is a rare sight in Zerg versus Terran. Curious. It's a build that ByuN is quite fond of against Protoss. Does allow for a fast stim timing. Does allow for a stronger mid game with a stronger third, with a faster third. Yeah, Solo does not get into the main. He has no idea. As we mentioned, there's that third rack. So as we mentioned, it's 3 CC 3 racks. We often do see this in TVP in regular SC2. This allows for, again, a very strong stim timing to get across the map. It makes sense that we would incorporate this in Zerg versus Terran just because there are no banelings, right? There's no banelings, there's no roaches, so these stim timings do hit harder. And likewise, is the greedy version, because we have a fast third, it leads into a very strong mid game with faster 3-base saturation. Faster 2-base and 3-base saturation, as we can make 3 SCVs at a time and triple mules as well. Typically, the way to deal with this is to punish. You typically want to punish this with your own aggression as a Zerg player, but I mentioned before, I don't really see many aggressive options for Solar. On top of that, Solar didn't scout. He has not seen the main. He doesn't know how greedy ByuN is being. So if this doesn't get punished, it's gonna get out of hand. As ByuN is applying pressure, he shouldn't be committing across the map. I believe this is just a posture. It's just posturing. As he pokes in, pulls away. He's forcing out Hydras, forcing a response, forcing a reaction. And this is delaying Solar's droning. Does delay, Solar, he scouts the army racing back home. Let's be honest, still waiting for his upgrades. And here comes the third. Okay, the onus is going to be on Solar to try to punish his third base. To attempt to punish. As I believe he is still yet to scout. Just now is. There we go. Now he sees, now he knows. So he's now aware. ByuN is already being proactive. Holding onto their stims. Still quite tense. Solo going for the backstab. Does sit by, making his way towards the natural. There's a bunker in position. And there are marine reinforcements at the third. But no bunker. True. Lings, they dip in. They get one, they get two, they will eventually overwhelm, but oh, never mind. Gonna be deflected. ByuN, he defends. Oof. This is a little bit worrisome. ByuN, he defends well. ByuN, he is ahead economically. He has a lead, and that will soon translate into a larger army. I do like this out of Solar. He's now taking up into his lurkers, but there's a window in time pre-lurkers where Solar is vulnerable. He is vulnerable. ByuN is reinforcing. More Marines. Tank production has now begun for ByuN. And we'll see if ByuN can make use of that timing pre-lurker. Can he use it? As ByuN stepping in. Plenty of Hydras. As Solar, he can hold his own. Lurkers are almost available. So far, so good. ByuN going for his own split push. Dropping on the south side. We have overload upgrades on the way. Drop gets spotted. So he knows. He's stimming his heart out. He's rushing towards that base. Getting himself with the fourth, but he should not kill. Yeah, he should not kill. So he responds in time. ByuN, he trades and he will lose every single Marine here. Does speak of a decent chunk of Hydras. But we'll lose the army. Yeah, we'll lose that army in the end. He traded 16 Marines for 14 Lings and 10 Hydras. A bit of a back and forth trade. So he's breaking out. So Lurker's now in the mix. And the Lurker's going to be enough. Tanks are revealed. Solar, I don't think we can do this. He's pushing in. Oh, massive tank shots. Solar, he's choked up. Oh god, this is not the play. Yeah, this is not the push. Solar, he's punished. We don't have to move into 3 bases. We don't have to be here. Solar, calm down. Push up into the natural. Denies +2. Nice pickup. Ooh. We'll lose the full medevac. Then he breaks out on the south side. ByuN has a little momentum. Again, his 3-base setup here was just too good. He didn't get punished. There was no punish. Boosted economy. Not getting up to the high ground. Trading well. That trades the Hydras. Oh no! Catching out even more. Punishing the lack of high ground. Lack of vision. And Solar cannot keep up. He cannot keep up, not against this kind of army here. This base will finally be broken. There's no saving the hatchery. Hatchery goes down. Mineral land as well. And again, as I mentioned previously, Solar unfortunately didn't scout the opener. He didn't scout the opener, didn't scout the build, and as a result, he could not punish it either. He didn't know he needed to. Wasn't able to punish. ByuN boosting further in. From here, coming into the bases. Ensnare was researched, so we do have Ensnare available. That does help somewhat. Oh, the Queen's Nest! Queen's Nest goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Solar, he will defend his main. But again, brutal trades. And behind this, ByuN, he has the 4th CC. He has his 4th command center. Now expanding. Solar stuck on 3 bases. He needs a 4th back. As ByuN is almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. Catching out one of the lurkers. Nice snipe out of ByuN. Oof. He's denying more lurkers as well. And Solar just doesn't have the army supply to defend multiple locations at once. Just cannot be here. Losing his 4th base once again. Didn't have 5 drones. Soul's gonna have 1 push in him, like 1 big all in. And so far, Soul, he's got 6, soon to be 12 lurkers. Okay. Queens are amassing and snare is available. I believe it's only in snare. Yeah, only in snare. There's no spawn broodlings. Soul's trying to push forward. 3-3 is now going to be done for ByuN. Oh, T's going to have the massive upgrade lead. And Ghosts are amassing as well. There's no good answer for Ghosts. The Filer's still on the way. Here come the snipes. Oof. Just 3 damage on the Hydras. Picking up one of the lurkers as well. Nice repositioning from ByuN. The snare does catch out 2 of the Ghosts though. It does catch 2 out. ByuN simming in. Bust into the mineral line. The Lings, they try to engage. And again, a more efficient trades here for ByuN. Good McLean double, he picks off so many Zerglings. ByuN trades well. Trading well, getting us forward. Now 5th base is on the way. Soon he can start to work towards Liberators. That'll be the ideal. It's going to be Bio, Tank, Lib, Ghost. Lurkers are being annoying. Just being annoying. Queen's pushing forward. Have we reached a spawn broodling? Not yet. Going for the Dark Swarm. Still not able to engage. Okay. Snipes, they don't care about your Dark Swarm. They don't care. We just snipe anyway. Yeah, Soul just getting bullied back. The Dark Swarm, it does nothing back. Yeah. The snipes still penetrate. ByuN's going for a Doom Drop. Solo looking for a better angle. And he's out of position. It does have a couple of lurkers at least. Not within range, but they're there. Oh no, they were. Yeah, losing 1, 2, 3 lurkers going to be going down. 1 lurker left. ByuN just stands his ground, trades well against the Zerglings. Now there's a world where maybe we can catch out the Ghosts. Maybe. With an ensnare, with some other spells. The Plague. Outside of that, ByuN just still freely expanding, still freely enjoying a greater economy and a larger bank as well. Which is often seen from the Zerg side of things. That's just how far ahead ByuN has been for the past, what, 6 minutes? Oh. Sam keeps up with the drops. Oh, the Scourge as well, they punish. No, never mind. Never mind. As there is no detection, free damage from the Ghost. Free damage. Now, because we've only been relying on drop play, Solar, he has been able to max out. Solar, he is now maxed. He was, for a long time this game, he was down, what, 50, 60, 70 supply. Now he's caught up, he's maxed out. He has a standing army. From the side of ByuN. Ooh, a plague did land, Jesus. That will slow him down. Okay. And with a couple of well-placed plays, Solar can still win these fights. Solar can do this. Again, it's so heavily reliant on those defilers. Is there a reason why the Defiler isn't called a Devourer when it eats its own kind? Like it literally consumes other units for energy. Aye. There we go. Soul's going for his own drop play. We have Mass Link coming in. The Links, they cannot quite engage. Again, this army is mainly Zergling. Yeah, very Link heavy. Things to get across the map. Get across, denying one of the expansions at least. Some damage slowing down ByuN. The battle was named by humans, so I didn't know it was Zerglings. I mean, if we're going by the logic that the humans named it, at the same time, why would they call the Devourer when it doesn't attack or doesn't eat, right? Like the Devourer is a spellcaster, right? No. We need the logic. See, the other theory is that the Devourer was invented first, or like evolved first. Oh, that's ensnare. Gets one. Does try to catch out the ghost, getting one. Two ghosts go down. No detection. Yeah, we just cloak. But if the Devourer was evolved first, maybe like they called dibs on the name. You know, it sounded cooler. I am the Devourer now. Feels Defiler, man. We have our dance. Plague on the one ghost. Likewise with the counter EMPs. ByuN finally pushing forward. Okay, we're moving in. So we're gonna have a bit of a micro dance here. The goal is to EMP the Defilers. I want to say Devour. Speaking of, EMP lands. The EMP does land. No plague. So we need more energy. Defiler's munching away. Even killing Hydras. Jesus. They're hungry, papi. Yeah, side swapping up. We do get our Dark Swarm. But alas, there's no plague. Yeah, not enough energy. Trying to push forward. Tanks they pop off. Massive plague on the army. Does land a plague. Solar's holding. Kind of. I mean, still a brutal trade. He still bleeds out so many Hydras, so many Defilers as well. That was only half of ByuN's army. Now pushing with another half. Threatening Solar. Solar plummets in supply. And how many ghosts went down in that trade? 2. Wow. Oh, sorry, 3. 3 ghosts went down for 4 Defilers and 141 links. Jesus. Yeah, the Zergling Cloud plummeted. So once again, we're pushing into siege lines. The tanks, they just punish. The tank shots. Oh my god. GG gets called. GG gets called. Solar, he runs out of steam. He cannot engage. And ByuN, who'll claim the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Solar, he was just having a very hard time gaining any momentum in this game. It all came down to the opener, winding it all the way back. The reason why Solar had such a hard time in the mid to late game was because ByuN got away with hyper greed. Remember, ByuN went for a 3cc 3 racks. So he had faster natural saturation, faster third base saturation, and a faster third expansion. So he had a boosted economy, and he never got punished. If you recall, we were talking about how Solar, he had to try to scout, confirm, and punish the greed of ByuN. Wasn't quite able to. With that, ByuN had a stronger mid game, was able to gain map control, punish bases, punish expansions, and contain Solar on a lower base count, lower economy. It took a very long time for Solar to max out, and even though he maxed out, ByuN had the superior composition. He had the more efficient army with tanks, with ghosts, with his bio. We saw that Solar got eventually maxed out with mainly Zergling. Like, he had a really hard time taking up and building up. He fell behind, stayed behind. GG. GG, well played. There were a couple of nice plays, there were a couple of nice moments there for Solar, but there were few and far between. And with that, ByuN is our first finalist. GG. GG, well played, is going to be our first finalist, and he'll be joined by our next opponent. Our next player is going to be a best of 5 between Classic and Shin. Let's go.